So I was in the Navy. Hoorah, Navy.
Hoorah.
All right. So I was in the Navy for 10 years. I was a CB by default because I was a yeoman. So I was a YN, called myself tactical yeoman. So I was stationed, my first duty station was in Coronado, San Diego. So that was pretty rough. Rough duty. To rewind a little bit, so when I first wanted to join the military, my thought was I have got to get some education. My parents couldn't pay for it, I couldn't pay for it, I didn't know who else was going to pay for it. So I said, you know, I think I'm going to join the Navy, for one, to get back to my country. For two, because I know I can get my education. For three, it's just great because I had no other work experience. So I went down to the recruiting station, and I will never forget, it was at the mall across the street from my apartment complex. And I'm walking over, and I remember seeing all the recruiters and asking us, you know, what we're gonna do with our life, and, you know, this is a great opportunity, and all this other great things. So I went over, and first I went to the Army, because my father was in the Army, so I kind of had to go there by default, and they were not open. So I went over to the Navy, which is where I wanted to go in the first place. So I could tell my father, at least I tried to go into the Army. So I went there, and they made me take what's called the ASVAB exam. ASVAB is basically a test to see what you're gonna be good at. Because I had no idea what I was gonna be good at in the first place. Because I'm brand new, I'm 17 years old. I wasn't even graduated from high school yet, okay? So I go in this room, I sit down, I start taking this examination. I'm seeing all these things I should know. What's this function? What's this piece of equipment? What's this person doing in this prone position for those that are infantry, things like that. And so I scored really bad, like bad. So they made me go study. They said, go back and study and then come back, retake it. We're sure you're gonna do better and give you more job opportunities, because I had like 2 at the time. So my birthday's in July. So I finally turned 18 after I graduated from high school. And I went back after I studied for a good month, which is not a lot of time, but studied for a while, came back to the exam, still did really bad. But I don't know if you can tell by my personality, but that's not gonna stop me. So I said, you know, I wanna join the military really bad. This is what I wanna do with my life, at least right now. I know this is gonna be a great opportunity, and I could be an effective person. So they said, okay, we have 1 job available for you. 1. I said, okay, well, I'm a woman of options, so give me some more options. Well, we'll give you options when you do better on the test. I was like, okay, so I'll take this option. I should have looked at the option before I said yes right away. So I said yes, and it was for a deck seaman position. Those of you that know what a deck seaman is. So it was delivered to me like this. Well, you could be a deck seaman, you could be anything you want to be in the Navy. You have the opportunity to make this whatever you want it to be. I said, that sounds like a fantastic position. Of course I'm gonna take that, of course. I literally signed the contract that afternoon, went back home. My mother was actually on a reserve duty station in New Orleans for 2 weeks. And I came back, my father was there. I said, I just joined the Navy. He thought I was joking. I wasn't joking. So I came back, got my diploma in the mail, I put it on the counter. He was actually out grocery shopping or something, and I decided that this was my time to live my life for myself. So I left that same afternoon. So I'm in boot camp. I'm completely terrified. I'm a California girl, natively. I'm in Chicago, and it's snowing. And I've never seen snow before. So this is a whole new experience for me as well. And so I get there, and my mother is fairly shorter than I am. I look nothing like her, I look just like my father. She shows up in boot camp at the front door because she heard that I joined the Navy. She told me not to tell this story, but I was like, I have to tell the story because no one's gonna believe me anyway. So she comes up to the door, and there's this little square window, and she's just below the window. And so when you're in boot camp, you have to sound off. So it's, at the time, oh wow, it's been so long ago. Seaman recruit Armstead, how can I help you, sir, ma'am? Open up the door, literally, and she has her hat down really low. And I knew who it was immediately. I was like, this is my mommy. Oh my goodness, she's here to save me. I gave her a hug. She said, no, we're not gonna do that. No, you're in the Navy now. You need to drop and give me 15 push-ups. I was stunned. First of all, how'd you get here? How'd you know I was here? And you're not supposed to even be here. She got herself orders cut from where she was at to get to me in boot camp. I thought that was pretty phenomenal. But I didn't get any special treatment. In fact, I got it worse than everybody did. Everybody. In fact, she made sure to tell dentistry that I still had all my wisdoms. I thought that was pretty fun. So I wake up and I'm told I'm getting all 4 of my wisdoms taken out that day. Okay, I'm fine with that. I've never been to the dentist before in my life. I'm completely petrified, but you know what? I'm in the Navy. I can do this. Well, they didn't tell me it was going to take 6 hours because 2 of my wisdom teeth were turned in sideways, and they had to break them to get them out. Okay, I wake up, and I'm still focused. I'm like, I'm here for my education, to serve my country. I can do this. My mom's not going to let anything bad happen to me. That was not reassuring the next day when I had to run 5 miles with a mouthful of gauze and my face bleeding. So I already knew before I even started off at my new duty station that this was not like high school. This was not a regular job. This is not what you do when you have nothing else to do. It's something you do because you want to do it. So graduation, I graduated top of my class. I led my division to succession with my cutlass and my sword and all my medals and my new ribbons and my new uniform. Got promoted in boot camp, even though I was an undesignated deck seaman. Now, just to give you an idea, undesignated deck seaman means that you have no job. You're going into the military with no job. Your job is to do all the jobs nobody else wants to do. That's your job. So, graduated, had a phenomenal celebration period. It was amazing. I still remember it to this day. I'm 36 years old. And I still remember the feeling of walking across that area and everybody saluting us and us saluting back and everybody there. So I decided I'm still going to get my education. That's still my goal. Got to my first duty station in Coronado, San Diego. First place I went to after I checked in with my sea bag was St. Leo University. I'm still in contact with them to this day. They enrolled me that week because they made sure that they knew that they were here to support me as an active military person. I thought that was really important. So I shared that with all my friends. They decided to come, join, and get their education and use their benefits before they got out. So I got my bachelor's before I even got out. I thought that was pretty amazing. And then I was able to transfer and have the opportunity to join an officer's program. I decided to leave because I wanted to finish because I realized I love teaching and I was meant to be at an academic institution. So that's what I did. But overall, the Montgomery GI Bill, the post 9/11, the Yellow Ribbon Program, if it wasn't for those programs, I would not have a doctorate. End of story. It would not be capable. I wouldn't have the funds, the resources, the support, the counseling, the peer mentorship. I wouldn't have any of that. So I'm really grateful eternally to the military, to the Navy for being my immediate first family, taking care of me, nurturing me, uplifting me, motivating me, and keeping me when I needed that. So thank you.